Hello, YouTube and fellow based PoE2 enjoyers. I have come to you today with a build guide for a Storm Reaver, Lightning Warp, Ball Lightning, CI, hella fun, super fast build. So I wrote a build guide, which I linked in the comments, and I don't like build guides that don't have gameplay footage, so I'm recording some gameplay footage. No, I'm not going to become a content creator and make a bunch of videos. I just sometimes get a wild hair and want to make something. Also, I looked around and I didn't see anybody doing this in maps and making a video about it, so I figured I would show it off. And this is my live gameplay in the background, live for me, not live for this YouTube video. So yeah, that's kind of the setup. Essentially what we do is shock, we double shock using shocked ground. From Lightning Warp so that we don't need any shock chance whatsoever. So as long as we're casting Lightning Warp, it's placing the shocked ground, and then the shocked ground has double the effect from the Ascendancy node for the Stormweaver. And so it's fun, actually. Really fun. My gear is kind of middling. Some of the pieces are good. Some of them are not. And so I just figured here's a good look at how it plays. I'm recovering energy shield from a support gem, shock siphon, and also I can flask for it. So here's how you do a boss. We could throw a curse on. I'm using temp chains, and then we can winter, whatever it's called, to get extra curse or extra crit. And yeah, you just kind of walk around and spam. It's lovely. It's quite lovely. It has pretty good survivability, honestly. It didn't start to feel good until I got to about, I want to say 4,000 ES. But before that, I died a whole heckin' lot. Ow. So one of the things I like to do, because I'm using Unleash, is cast 2 Ball Lightnings and then Lightning Warp twice in a row. Especially on bosses, that's kind of a good way to set it up. You'll notice we don't use a ton of our life flask, so we're not taking that much damage, so it's pretty good. I mean, this is level 74. I think this is a tier 9 map. This is a tier 9 rare map, so rares, enfeeble, ritual, yada yada. I haven't finished the ritual. Let's go do that. That'll give you an idea of what a league mechanic looks like. So this is the last ritual, so this will be the toughest one. So this will give you an idea of, you know, when you start juicing what it might look like. Obviously, I'm not at the end game yet, kind of in the early mid game, somewhere in there. But it's going good. This is the most fun lightning skill. I think Lightning Tempest is actually pretty fun also, but I just like this playstyle really well. Also, the dash ability is key, so if you like Lightning Warp, you get stuck, you dash out. You can also spam your health pot, which is great because I've got a belt that has an implicit that uses some of it instantly. Alright, there you go, map down. Free Exalt, no problem. Bunch of junk. Why are Alks so expensive? That's crazy. Do I have to defer it again? Anyway, so that's what a map looks like. Is the map completed? Yeah, map completed. So we'll go over the gear and the gems real quick. That's just a brief overview of the gameplay. It's a little bit clunky, but as you get more Arcane Surge effect, more cast speed from other sources, I think it'll start to smooth out and feel even better. But it is feeling pretty good right now. Okay, so the wand is a +4 lightning and mana and cast speed. So those are the 4 relevant stats. Gloves just have resist and ES, so those could be upgraded. Belt, again, 20% of flask recovery applied instantly. That's very good for ES based using Eternal Youth. So you get a little chunk of healing as soon as you flask. So you can spam your life flask with an ES build, which is kind of cool. Chest piece got Spirit, Resist, ES. The life is wasted, of course. We got mana on the helm and resists. Most of it is basically intelligence, mana, energy shield, spirit, cast speed. Those are the stats you need. Then some resists here. This is not like what you should get her for. This is just what are you watching in the video, essentially, because I thought critical to include that. So definitely the boots have a life roll, so that's not necessary. And then I have no plus skills on the offhand. It could have north of like 200 ES. So lots of room for upgrades there. Here is the passive tree. I have just kind of come up with this. I don't know if it's good or not. Key notables are going to be Chaos Inoculation, obviously. So we have 6,000 energy shield and 1 life, but we're immune to chaos damage. And then this to keep us going is Eternal Youth, which I talked about. Your flask applies to your energy shield, which is very helpful because the recharge is a very long delay, and I'm not scaling the recharge, and so I skipped all of those nodes. Additionally, shock, one of our primary damage mechanics, you can look on the tree, duration of shock and chance to shock. You do not need these nodes. So the shock ground is a guarantee. So this is another cool thing about this build over the other lightning builds. You're 100% shock uptime without having to scale it, which is fantastic. Now lightning penetration, excuse me. I've got 2 nodes for that. And so I actually have 57%. If I can find it. It's on this sheet somewhere. Yeah, so right, I don't know where they put it. Well, anyway, I have 57% lightning penetration, which removes the need to use conductivity as a damage curse, and then lets me use temp chains or enfeeble as needed. So here are the jewels I'm using. This has spell damage and ES and crit. This one is huge. I made that myself. This one has ES and nothing else, so none of these other mods matter for us. I mean, curse duration, but doesn't help. This one, again, has just energy shield. That's all. That literally just percent energy shield is what these jewels are for. This one has a little bit of spell damage, so these could be upgraded hugely. Obviously, I am pathing over here to touch the arcane. That'll be the next thing. Arcane surge effect we are getting from our ascendancy. So we always have Arcane Surge, and then we scale it up per max mana. Obviously, I'm mana stacking, and then double shocking. And so I currently have 358 mana recovery per second. I would like to up that number. Skills, basically the 2 big ones are Ball Lightning and Lightning Warp. You want to cast Ball Lightning faster, and you want it to be cheaper because you're not trying to shock with this ability. If Ball Lightning shocks, which it has 7x chance to shock. It's actually bad for you because it overwrites. That will take precedent over the shocked ground, and my shocked grounds are coming from lightning warp, and they are stronger than the ones that come from ball lightning. So you want it to do less damage. Ideally, you'd get a minimum level ball lightning, and then of course scatter shot for multiple projectiles. And this mobility one is really good because it makes it so that you don't go as slow when you're casting. So that's cool. And then for Lightning Warp supports are Unleash mandatory. So you're getting 3 of these projectiles. Unleash hits all 3 of them. So that's mandatory. And it saves you a lot of mana because this is expensive. 332 mana per cast. Lightning Mastery. I don't know if that's best in slot. It gives a little bit of damage. I'm not sure. I'll play around with that. Overcharge, absolutely mandatory. Huge shocks. 75% bigger than any other shock you can apply, and it's on the ground, so it's absolutely permanent. And then Shock Siphon, which recovers ES on kill. That's good for me for surviving in the maps and tier 9s, tier 10s. And so that is helping with the survival. You could switch this out for the mana recovery one, but I haven't tested that yet. Eye of Winter, if you want to add crit. Oh, and just a note, your quality here is huge. More shock magnitude and quality here. No, not here, excuse me. Quality on Archmage is also super helpful. More damage. Eye of Winter, Mana Tempest I don't really use because when you're lightning warping, you tend to teleport out of it and it goes away. But with the quality, maybe it is usable. Temp Chains for Curse, you can use Temp Chains, you can use Enfeeble. You could use Conductivity. I prefer to just have the pin on the tree. And then Archmage, I'm using Clarity. I need more Spirit so I can reserve more things. And then, of course, Blink, which is, I think, mandatory to feel good. I am using Second Wind and Ingenuity so that I have 2 charges, so I have double oh shit button. Anyway, that's my build. I haven't really seen anybody doing this at maps, and I definitely haven't seen anybody doing it CI, so I just thought I'd put this out there. Read the accompanying guide, and if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. That's all for now. Like and subscribe, I guess. Isn't that what you're supposed to say?